Okay, so I think we're recording. So welcome everybody. My name is Kelsey. I'm one of the co-presidents of Women in Business. I am a fourth year studying finance and accounting. I have a minor in computer science, and I've done 2 co-ops at PwC, and I actually just signed a job offer, so I'm going to return there in tax after I graduate in May. So if you have any questions about any of those things, like totally reach out to me. I love talking to people about everything, especially because I know I came into college with no one in my family with that background, and so I had like a million questions. So if you have any questions, let me know. We also have a ton of other people. I'm going to show you our e-board, and you can see kind of we have so many different majors and so many girls with so much experience. So it's kind of a great network for you to reach out if you have any questions. But with that, I'm just going to jump in. We have a short presentation, so I'll show you that, and then I'll take questions at the end if you have any questions. So let me see. This. All right. So can you guys see my screen? Yeah. All right, cool. So Women in Business introduction meeting. So we're just going to do a little bit about who we are, what we're doing, and how you can get involved. So, cool. I'm trying to hit next and it's not letting me. Oh, okay, cool. So logistics wise, we meet every other Tuesday at 8 p.m. Those meetings are going to be held on Zoom, so 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's the plan right now. If we find that we have time zone issues like majorly, then maybe we'll adjust, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be, we're pretty much locked in 8 p.m. Tuesdays on Zoom. Our first meeting is going to be September 15th. We'll send you, if you're on our email list, if you haven't gotten an email from us yet, we did send out an updated email. If you had signed up on Engage, there were like 6 people, I think, who signed up after that. So there's a chance you're one of them who didn't get that email. So you should be on, if you signed up on Engage, you should be getting the emails. And there'll be reminders about meetings. And we're really good about sending a whole bunch of reminders. You can also follow us on our social media. So if you're not following us on Instagram yet, it's NEU Women in Business. It's on the Engage page. So like go there and follow us because we post all the meeting reminders there too. But in addition to our 8 p.m. meetings, we actually have like other special events. So our 8 p.m. meetings every other week are usually like skills-based workshops. So we do things like learn to code, Excel refreshers, interview workshops, resume workshops, things like that. Like we help everyone get set up on LinkedIn, all of those things. But then we have other meetings at different times. So we have executive speaker series and smart seminars is what we call them. So executive speakers are more experienced, more like high level people in the business world come in and talk to us. And then smart seminars tend to be more recent grads from Northeastern coming back and telling us like, this is where I am now. This is what I recommend you do at Northeastern. This is how I got to where I am. And the smart seminars are fun too, because they're smaller group seminars. So it's like maximum of 10 girls in that call. And then you get more of a chance to really talk with the guest speaker. So for those things, we tend to put them at all different times and on all different days. So if you're like, oh shoot, like I was really excited to join this other club, they also meet Tuesdays 8 p.m. Now I can't join Women in Business. That's totally wrong. You can totally join us and not come to a single one of the 8 p.m. meetings and just come to some of the other smart seminars and executive speakers. So we let you be as involved as you want. Obviously, the more meetings you come to, the more you're going to benefit from the club. But no one's going to be like, oh, well, you didn't come to our Tuesday 8 p.m. meeting this week, so you're out. Like that's just not how we work. But I'll talk about it in a second. Let's see. No. Well, I'll talk about it in a second. And we have other opportunities if you're a more dedicated member. But there's also the Remind 101. I don't know if you guys have ever had Remind 101 in other classes, but I had it in high school. That's where I learned from it. But if you text, the phone number is 81010, and you text the message at WIBNEU2, then you'll be like enrolled in this text messaging system, and those messages come from me. So I just text you like and I can't see your phone numbers or anything. It just like goes through the system. But I send out a text blast that says like, hey, we have a meeting at 8 p.m. tomorrow, don't forget. And I find that that works well because a lot of the times, sometimes stuff just gets overwhelming in your email, especially I know like when I was a freshman, I signed up for just like a ton of clubs and I was getting tons of emails from them, tons of emails from the university, like, and it's great because there's so much to get involved in. But sometimes you kind of lose track and you're like, oh shoot, there was a really cool smart seminar coming this week and I just didn't even see it. So it's kind of nice to get those remind texts, I think. But again, you don't have to sign up if you don't want. I try not to be annoying. I only text you when we have like actual events going on. I'm not like, happy Friday. But anyway, so we have 4 pillars is kind of what we've founded ourselves on: professional development, community, mentorship, and inspiration. So professional development is kind of like what I was saying with those Tuesday meetings, mostly skills workshops, honing in on new ones, honing in on old skills or developing new skills. We really just want to help you get ahead and have some background that might help you as you're looking for a co-op and looking for a full-time job. So we do that through workshops, presentations, group activities, and that's usually our Tuesday meetings. We also want to have a sense of community. So we're trying to make Women in Business something where you see someone that you recognize from Women in Business in class and you sit together, you work together. We actually, I'll introduce also later, like we have Slack channels that we were using for when we could be in person, like, hey, I have an empty seat next to me at the library, like, does anyone want to come sit with me? And just trying to like be that community for each other. So that's kind of fun. Mentorship. So we have a mentorship program we rolled out last year. And since then we've kind of been developing it further. So I think our first semester was like pretty good, but we were like, okay, we could work on this. And so we've kind of learned a little bit. So our program's even more robust now. And it's basically you sign up to either be a mentor or mentee. And then we get a whole bunch of information about like your major, your interests, how often you want to meet with that person, what you're looking for out of their relationship. We match you up, and then we give you things to talk about each month. And what we were gonna do last time, we like were about to do an escape room, and then everyone got sent home from COVID. But there's fun activities that we're planning. We'll have to see what our Zoom activities are gonna be there. But anyway, so there's fun activities there too. And then inspiration is, like I said, like with the smart seminars and executive speakers, we have some really awesome women come in and talk to us. And those are great learning opportunities, great networking opportunities. So we hope that leaves you feeling inspired when you leave those. So quickly introducing our e-board. So there's me, but there's also our co-president, Maddie McQuaid. So her and I kind of run the show together, and she did this session. So if you want to hear her talk, you can look up the recording from Monday night. But she's a 4th year MIS and marketing analytics major. And then we have our Officer of Fundraising, Alyssa, Officer of Treasury, Hannah, Media Relations Officer, Ellie, External Event Coordinator, and actually newly our Diversity and Inclusion Chair, Audrey, Internal Event Coordinator, Anusha, Secretary, Kelsey. So we're like Kelsey 1 and 2. And then we also have awesome committee members. So we have a fundraising committee member, Amelia, and a social media committee member, Emily. So we're always looking for extra like committee members and developing new positions. And so if you have ideas for, hey, Women in Business should really be doing this, like we love to hear that. We love for people to reach out to us and talk to us about things. And there's obviously, I mean, look at how huge this e-board is. It started out last fall, we had like 4 people on the e-board, and then Maddie and I just kind of kept growing it because we were like, oh my gosh, like as an organization, we were growing so much because we used to have like 25 members, and now we have like 1,000 people on the email list, but we have like 100, 150 like committed people that show up regularly. But now we've grown, so we're always growing. So there's these leadership opportunities that are really great. So if you're coming to a lot of the meetings and we're recognizing you, these positions are interviewed for, so you definitely want to kind of show up and be a part of it, and then you have room to move up and one day lead. I mean, I'm leaving in the spring, which is crazy, so someone's gonna have to take that over, but but yeah, so lots of leadership opportunities in the club too. So some things to expect this upcoming semester. So like I said, we have a mentorship program. There will be a monthly newsletter highlighting mentor-mentee meetups. And we also instituted last semester a form so that you can kind of fill it out to make sure that we are actually satisfying those mentor-mentee relationships. So for instance, if you said in your intake form that you wanted to meet twice a month and your mentor isn't meeting with you twice a month or is kind of ghosting you for some reason, you can fill it out in the form and we'll rematch you or talk with that mentor and figure out like what's going on, because we don't want anyone to be kind of just like left out, like paired, and then not benefit how they wanted to benefit from the program, because sometimes I think people just overcommit and don't realize, and so we don't want anyone to miss out on things because of that. And then we are also planning special events. Like I said before, we were planning to do an escape room. We'll have to figure out what we do online, but there'll definitely be some fun things. So this is what I was kind of talking about how you can be more or less involved. So starting this semester, we're going to have an attendance system. So if you show up to a lot of meetings, then you can get different levels of status of membership in the club. And then if you attend, we think we're going to do 4 events, then you can receive a goodie bag of Women in Business gear. So that will be a fun surprise. We're working out exactly what will be in that goodie bag, but stay tuned. We'll probably have news on that at the first meeting. So incentive to come hang out with us. Fun events we already have planned for this semester. So every year we go to the Harvard Women in Business Conference. This is a really selective conference, and they have really, really cool speakers. So last year, there was the COO of SpaceX, Diane von Furstenberg, who's like a really crazy fashion designer, the commissioner of the WNBA. I listened to a woman from the CIA speak. She used to be in counterterrorism, and she had some crazy stories. The chief marketing officer of Bumble. It was so cool. So they're doing that again. That will be virtual, not in person probably, but we're going to do that. So for that, you apply because it's expensive to attend. But Women in Business is actually really lucky to have a sponsorship from Schneider Electric. That's really hard to say. So we sponsor you to go. So you don't have to pay, but we can't send everyone. So you apply and you're selected to go. I encourage you all to apply. It's not based on like you can go as a first year for sure. In fact, we really encourage it because we feel like it's such an impactful experience and such a great learning opportunity, especially for members that are just coming into their college experience. So super cool when that gets rolled out. You should definitely apply. That happens. The conference is in October, so probably late September will be the applications. We're also having a Learn to Code workshop. So that's going to be centered around learning the basics of Python. So it's just a one-night workshop just to kind of give you a little bit of exposure. We're bringing in an outside speaker to teach us a little bit about that. We just had a meeting with our e-board the other day, and we were talking about things that we feel like no one's addressing. And one of the things that we came up with was imposter syndrome. And we felt like a lot of us had felt that, and a lot of us hadn't really talked about it with anyone else. So we were like, okay, we should do this in Women in Business. And so things like that too, if you're ever feeling that way, like, hey, is no one else thinking about this? Like, bring it up to us, because we probably are, and we'd love to have a meeting about it. So we're going to do a workshop about tackling imposter syndrome in the business world and in the university in general. And then our first executive speaker is Hasana Birdsong. She's actually one of my family friends, but she's a sales and marketing guru, and she's awesome. And she is just honestly the most fun person to listen to speak ever. So you have to come out to that because she just has incredible energy. So that will be really exciting. I think we're aiming to have her come in October. So I think she's October. Coding workshop is going to be September. Battling imposter syndrome will be September too. So also, like I was saying, Slack community. So at the first meeting, we'll give you the information to get into the Slack community. If you haven't used Slack before, it's just like a communication platform. You basically have these messaging boards, and they go under the hashtags, and then you can they're like grouped, the conversations are grouped that way. So we try and get all the club involved on that. And so you have like an academic channel for, hey, I have this professor this semester, like, what does everyone think of him? Or like, I'm trying to sign up for this class. What do you think? Like, whatever, I'm taking this class. Does anyone else want to study? Things like that. Co-op, I'm looking for a job. I know of a job. Will someone do interview practice with me? Social would be, like I said, like, does anyone want to get coffee? Or also in social, we encourage you, like, we want you to be involved in women in business, and we also really want you to be involved in everything else at school too. So if you have another club that you're really passionate about, like, throw their meetings in social. Like, we're not competitive in that way. So for example, like, there are some other really great women's organizations in the business school too. We encourage you to join both of us, or all of us, because we offer different things. So like, Women in Finance is a great organization if you're a finance major. And they do more of the financial side of things, and then we do more of the general stuff. So I feel like it's great to have both. But if you had like a cool Women in Finance event, like, you can throw it in the social Slack and be like, hey, you guys should come out to this too. So whatever. Or it doesn't have to be business related at all. Like, my soccer team has a game, you guys should come out. I mean, obviously not this semester, but like, whatever. Throw it in social. And then general, like, obviously anything you can think of, you can put in general. But yeah, so we'll give you the like, join code at the first meeting. So what else you can expect? Yeah, so I kind of touched on most of this stuff, but community service, we're working on getting more involved in the community too. Again, somewhat challenging virtually, but we'll figure it out. So we'll keep you updated on that. And fundraising events, we were set up to do so many really cool fundraising events in the spring. So once the world is back to normal, we'll have to do some of them. But one place we had a fundraiser set up with Blaze, which is like a pizza place locally. And we also had a fundraiser set up with a place called Fajitas and Ritas, which, like, they have like fajitas in like ridiculously large margarita tower things. But anyway, so we'll do fun events like that. You have many more years at Northeastern too when things open up. So, but yeah, so we have that. And that's pretty much it for this presentation. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. But I am very happy to take any questions or whatever anyone has to say. So you can unmute yourself, or just unmute yourself and chat.
So how do I get, I'm sorry, you can go first. Thank you. How do I get the newsletter, like, to know what's happening in, like, in the club?
Did you sign up on Engage?
No, I didn't. I think I just like clicked on the Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, so if you go, do you know how to get to Engage?
Yeah.
So if you go on there and you click join, then you'll get added to our email list. So then all the other communications that come through will get sent to you. That's like our main point, would be the email list. And that's where you're going to get things where you can actually sign up for things. The Instagram will definitely tell you, like, generally what's going on. But you'll need the emails to actually sign up and get like full rundown of what's going on, because we just put the highlights on Instagram. But if you go on there and click join, then it'll give me a notification and I'll add you to the email list and then accept your membership.
Thanks.
No problem.
What did you say the first meeting was?
September 15th. Let me check really quick. So before I'm pretty confident it's September 15th, but I'm going to like tell you all and then lie. Yes, September 15th, 8 p.m. is going to be our first meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And there'll be an email about that too. So there'll be an email probably right after, because we have Fall Fest. You guys should all do that too. You get to go around and see the different organizations and kind of do things like this where you get to chat with people. So after Fall Fest, we're expecting more people to sign up and get to know us, and then we'll have our first meeting. Fall Fest is the 8th, I think, September 8th. So after that, probably like the 10th, you'll get an email from us saying like first meeting's on the 15th and what to expect from there.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, sorry. I don't
Hi.
know how to get on Engage, I thought you called it, to sign up.
Yeah, engage. Okay, do you want to throw your email in the chat and I'll just email you a link?
Okay.
Because I don't even know how to tell you how to get there either. It's like I just have it like saved on my computer. But it's like Northeastern Engage or something.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Anyone else can do that too. If you need help, just like throw it in the chat and I will send you. Oh, sick. Thank you. Did you see that? Is it Dorcas? Can you come on and tell me how to say your name? I don't want to mispronounce it.
Yeah, it's Dorcas. That's correct.
Dorcas. Okay. Thank you for putting that in there. Did you guys see that? She just threw the link in for Engage. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And yeah, I think it was, what did it say? Yeah, Wendy. All of our meetings are going to be virtual. So the university is having everyone stay virtual. That doesn't like absolutely need to be in person, and we don't absolutely need to be in person to do our meetings. So that's also great because a lot of us aren't coming back to campus. So if you aren't coming back to campus, no worries, you can be just as involved as everyone else. And also we understand that the 8 p.m. Eastern time is not a great time zone for everyone. Like we're not expecting you to, like, if you're in a different time zone and our meetings are at 2 a.m, like don't torture yourself. It's okay. We'll record them and you can watch them later. And you can join other things like the smart seminars or the executive speakers. Like that's part of why we do that. I mean, we even do that when classes are normal because we just understand that people have other commitments. And if you put everything at the same time every week, then you might miss out on people who just happen to have another commitment that lines right up with it. So yeah, so everything will be virtual there.
Hi, could you talk
Hi.
a little more about like the mentorship program and like how often like most people meet or like what you would mainly talk about?
Yeah, sure. So the mentorship program really kind of is what you make it. So when we have you sign up, we have you at least as far as how much you meet, we have you indicate how much you want to meet. So because some people are like, oh, well, I'd like to check in with a mentor once a month and no more than that. And some people are like, oh, well, I want to have someone that I'm meeting with every week. And we get mentors and mentees to kind of say both things. So then we just pair you off based on that. So as frequently as you want to. And then what was that? Just like what you talk about. So usually it's kind of like, at least with my mentees, I'm pretty general about things. So if they're looking for co-op, then I'll help them kind of get their interview skills ready. I'll look over their resume if they want to. If they're like, oh my God, I have an interview tomorrow, like help, like I can help them with that. Also, if you're going into classes, I had all of my mentees messaging me when they were trying to sign up for fall classes because they were like, do I take this professor? Like, should I take this class before I take this class? And things like that. And it's just so helpful to have someone who's been through it already to say, oh God, don't take that professor. And things like that. So I know I've saved a couple people with some professors. So, so there's things like that. But then also, like, I mean, COVID happened and everyone got sent home. So it was kind of nice. Like I was doing Zoom calls with my mentees and just like checking in, making sure everything's going okay. Like we genuinely are just kind of friends too. So it's just like, oh, like she was showing me her dog and, like things like that. So it totally is what you want it to be. If you want to develop more of a relationship and have a friend who you're texting and hopping on random Zoom calls with and not necessarily talking about business stuff, like you can have that. And if you want it to be strictly a like more professional relationship, you can have that too. And we just kind of have you indicate those preferences on that intake form so that we can try and match you with someone who's gonna have similar expectations.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And there's going to be a whole, at the first meeting, there's going to be, we have like our internal events coordinator is pretty much in charge of the mentorship program. So her and I work together to kind of run that. But she'll get up and talk like more in depth about what this really means and how the sign up process goes and everything too. But we had one in the chat. There are positions in the first. Are there positions to run for in the first meeting? There are not open e-board positions right now. We used to do positions where you would run for a position at the first meeting and then you would immediately start that position for the semester. And we found that that was really chaotic because you really need to be planning the semester like the semester before. So if you're having new e-board come on right away, then it just kind of gets super messy. However, we are going to be looking for some more committee members. So I know that we're looking for at least one more committee member on the diversity and inclusion committee. And I think maybe one or two on the fundraising committee. So we're working out exactly what that'll look like. So there will be leadership positions, but we kind of have like the tiers of like, there's like the e-board and then there's the committees. So like, at least with us, kind of the way it works is usually we have like e-board meetings every week and committee meets with the e-board every other week. So it's just slightly less, but if you're on a committee, that's a great way to end up on the e-board the following semester. Any other questions? All right, well, if there's no other questions, you have my name. You can like email me, email the club, follow me on Instagram and DM me, add me on LinkedIn, like whatever. I am super responsive. So however you want to contact me, if you have any more questions, let me know. And hopefully I get to see you all soon at our first meeting. So also, yeah, definitely like sign up on Engage so that you are getting our emails, follow us on Instagram so you know what's going on. But yeah, so it was great getting to meet all of you and hope to see you soon. And good luck with your last, you have like a couple weeks left before everything gets crazy, but it'll be fun. All right, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.